I don't think this one's cooked all the way. Need a little more time on the grill. Well, our chicks are getting big enough to finally move, but I have to go through and patch all the possum holes in here and clean this out because this was a pigeon coop, so it's still a little dirty. All right, you guys, get out of here. Get out. This is not your side. Come on. So I gotta patch a hole right there, patch that hole, and those are the two big ones. I don't see anything else around here. Alright, we got her all cleaned out. The one thing I like about pigeons versus chickens is that pigeon poop is actually really dry. It's not messy like chickens. The downside is it's so dry that it's very, very dusty. It's almost chalky. I mean, you can see it's just chalky. So it's really tough stuff to breathe. But the residue here, this will actually all come off once I get chickens in here because, like I said, the droppings are wet, so it'll moisten this up and come right out. Alright, so I also went through and I kind of repaired this. I was able to pull the wire back down. I still need to kind of nail this. Gosh, this doesn't even look like it was attached in any way to the ground. So I'll probably have to put a nail in this just to keep it secure. Ultimately, probably put a board across right there. This one I went through and patched up. I just cut a chunk of chicken wire and then strung up, basically sewed it on with some more wire. So that's nice and secure now. So we are ready at this point for baby chicks. Well, alright, today we are working on the other half of the chicken coop. More specifically, we're putting bedding in the bottom and moving the birds in. I'm going to go ahead and wall off the back end of the coop exit right there. So that way, if there's any possum still kicking around, he's not going to get in through the back. Because these guys would be like a buffet for the possum. Whew. So my favorite bedding of choice is actually hay. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Well, let me close this door. It keeps popping in my face. And this is just a crappy bale. This was actually one of our expensive $7 bales of hay, which I've gone over a couple different times. And this is why I absolutely hate a lot of hay farmers. This isn't quality at all. I mean, yeah, it's got some Timothy in it, some other random stuff that I can't even tell. This was advertised as alfalfa orchard grass. I don't know, do you see any alfalfa in there? Do you see any orchard grass? Looks like a pile of crap to me. If I were selling this hay myself, I would probably be selling it for $3 a bale because this is crap. This is like hay that's 2 years old. That's what it looks like. Or hay that was baled very, very late. Especially with the Timothy. Out here, at least, Timothy is one of the latest grasses to mature. So if you've got a full long head of Timothy in your hay, you better hope that that's either second cutting, because otherwise, this is, I mean, there's not even any color to this Timothy. Like this one little green, the actual green parts you can see in this hay is not even from this hay, it's from another bale we had. It's like all this nice green stuff. That's not this bale. I mean, this whole thing through and through is completely just dust, dust, and dust. But yet they considered this to be high quality orchard grass alfalfa mixed hay worth $7 a bale. Oh, people like that just really make me mad. We didn't have any choice. This was all that was available at the time to buy. But now we can use it as reference as to why our hay is good and worth the money that we're going to sell it for. So normally for hay, we sell our hay, well, our old hay we sold for, you know, $4 a bale, give or take. And that's about average out here. So a bale of straw, consequently, is anywhere from $4 to $6. No joke. straw is almost worth more than hay. Is that not nuts? I don't know. So the dogs have been kind of my test to go to for bedding because we bed the dogs down. Wood shavings, they're really easy to kick around. They just pile up in the corners and then the dogs sleep on wood. And they're just, I don't know, they're expensive too. You know, one bag is like $4 and you need 2 bags realistically. So we tried straw. Now my problem with straw is that it literally turns to dust in like 3 weeks. It'd be nothing but just pure dust. It's not absorbent. I know a lot of people use it, but my experience has been like if it's raining, the dogs are running in and out, or you've got a litter of puppies in it, it's slippery, it's dusty, and it doesn't soak up water. The water just goes right through it down to the ground. And that's a problem. So I tried hay. And you know what? It works. It stays put. It stays put. The dogs can nest in it. And it's really, really absorbent. And it smells nice too. So now I bed everything in hay. Except for the cows and horses, because then they'll just bloat out and turn really fat. Because they'll just eat it. But this crappy scrappy bale that my horses will not touch will go to bedding for my new chickens. Hey buddy. So you can see these guys have hay. They actually could stand a little bit more. It's looking pretty sparse in there. But now that they're free ranging, it's not such a big deal because they do most of their pooping outside now. And they're only in there at night. So this is going to be more than enough for my little tiny coop area. So I'll give them probably the extra bits. Let's get going. Apparently the chickens are excited. You guys trying this out for me? Well, hopefully I can fit 25 chickens in here. There. Alright, this looks pretty good. Guys, come on. Out. Out. You guys are so nosy. Surprised my child isn't in here. Alright, so here are all my big baby birdies. Hey guys! I mean, they are just maxed out in here. Normally I would have moved them into the main stall area here. But honestly, I'd kind of like my stall back so I could put horses in it at some point. It's just really too convenient putting chickens in here because it's just set up for chickens. It is set up for horses too, but yeah. The other thing is, by putting them with the other chickens, all my chicken food's in one spot, I can feed them bam bam. I can let everybody out to free range, and Eric doesn't have to worry about chickens in the barn pooping on his toolbox. So, yeah. Alright, so what are we gonna stick you guys in? I could carry you one by one. I could carry you in a bucket. That might be interesting if I stuck them in that. But this is an actual chicken cage. Maybe I'll stick them in this. I'm gonna have to clear that off, but it doesn't have any handles. That's the only thing. So I could probably put it in my sled and pull it down in the sled. Yeah, but I'm not gonna use this side by side because all of the chickens are like waiting for me outside those doors. And if I open that door, they're all just gonna like run in, and then they're gonna eat all the cat food, and it's just a, yeah, I can pull them down in the sled. I don't have to be lazy and use the side by side for everything. So, let's get going on this. Yep. These guys are a little lethargic because it is warmer today, so they're just kind of chilling and hanging out. So I'll get the rest of these guys and we'll load them up. Yeah, we got all 25 in there. Well, okay, 23. There's 23 of them in there. I did have 2 of them die. Some of you guys had been concerned about the mortality rate of this breed, saying that it's kind of a sensitive breed. But honestly, just like last year we bought 6 Orpingtons, 1 died. This year I bought 25 Orpingtons, 2 died. And I know for a fact that the 2 that died were because they got trampled. Because we had a couple cold nights, they huddled up under the heat lights, and one just got to the bottom of the pile. When we bought the Cornish, we probably had, at this age, by this age, I think we probably had like 3 or 4 die. So, I don't know. I say they're doing about the same as the Cornish, but Cornish, as they got older, we had more of them die or come close to dying, so we had to butcher them. I don't see that being an issue with these guys. Both a little heavy. Sorry guys. I apologize. There. Well, forgot about the fact that this thing's probably bigger than my sled. I don't think this is gonna fit through my door. Might have to open up the big door. All right, guys, you ready? This is why I keep my sled out all year round. Hopefully there's no chickens out here. Back, I say. Back. Come on, get. I told you they're stalking me. They're just waiting for me to open this just big enough. And I'm gonna sneak on through. Come on, babies. Hurry. Let's hurry before the chickens get back. Watch out, Tut. Alright. Alright, I gotta take my coat off because it's actually getting really warm out. These chickens are like, man, this sunshine, the breeze, it's amazing. Whee! There's some happy chickens. This is why I like free-ranging chickens. Well, you can stick chickens in a chicken tractor all day long and puddle around, but I just like them walking. Of course, you know, the upside to a chicken tractor is that your chickens don't really get tough because they're not moving around a whole lot. They're just kind of stuck in a little area. Which I might do with these guys maybe the last 2 weeks or so before they go to butcher. I haven't decided yet if we're gonna send them out to be butchered or do it ourselves. It's expensive. The nearest butchering facility is 45 minutes away, and you have to make 4 trips pretty much. Down there and back, down there and back. It's a lot of gas just for some chickens. There's the cat. So those chickens over there are taking a dust bath. They've got, I don't know what, 3 holes? 3 holes out here in the yard that they dug. And they dug these little dust holes themselves. They just sit in there. They all pile in. My neighbor's horses does the same thing in the stand. So we don't have anything in our pasture. Alright, so for those of you who didn't see my earlier videos on chickens, you'd have to go way back to the beginning of my channel back in August? Somewhere around there, July-ish, August. Last year we decided for the first time to raise Cornish cross chickens. And we ended up with about 100 of them. And I'm not joking, pretty much the only reason we bought them was because they were on sale for $1 each. Yeah. So we figured, heck, why not give it a try, you know? And you know, it wasn't too bad. There were a couple of things that we didn't like about the Cornish cross. One being, obviously, they eat and poop nonstop. I mean, it's in one end and out the other. And that gets expensive. I mean, if they're not even digesting their food, it's just shooting on through. And I didn't give them unlimited food, no. It was twice a day. They obviously don't have a good mortality rate. They overheat quickly. They tend to suffer from heart failure. Even if you're not overfeeding them, you still have these issues. I mean, I had them suffering from heart failure from a young age all the way up to an older age. So when I was thinking about meat chickens, I had heard other people talk about Freedom Rangers, and there's a couple other breeds that I had heard about that we don't usually see offered out here. And everyone said that these slower growing chickens taste immeasurably better than the Cornish crosses. Now, don't get me wrong, the Cornish crosses taste great compared to the store-bought chicken. But if you've ever cooked rooster and you've cooked it right, you'll know that it's the most amazing, mouth-watering poultry meat you could ever eat. Oh my gosh. I'm getting hungry just thinking about rooster. Now, I cooked rooster up. Now, I cooked rooster up last year. He doesn't like me talking about it. With rooster and any other older chicken, you have to properly age it. You don't just chop it and throw it in the pot or chop it and throw it on the grill. There's a different way to cook it. Now these chickens, once they get old enough, they'll still be delicious, they'll still be tender, they'll still be juicy, as long as you don't let them get too old. But you can eat old chickens and they are fabulous. And that is the #1 reason why I want to raise buff Orpingtons to eat. Now, out of all of the chicken breeds that Tractor Supply and Family Farm sell out here, the buff Orpington is the only breed that gets exactly the same weight as the Cornish crosses. Alright, time to move these chickens. Alright, this has to stay open. Alright, oh! Well, I'm not crushing your toes for little things. Isn't that my foot? Okay.
It's eating your foot.
You ready? He's loud, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, come here and grab one. Ready? Oh, I got his name. There you go. Take your pick. Yep. And dump him in behind you. All the way out there. There.
I turned it on.
You can't reach him? You want me to push him forward? Here. Go ahead. You got him. There you go. Just need to be on the ground. Yep, you can do that. You do that as much as you want.
Can I sit down?
Yep, you can sit down. It's all fresh hay. Here you go. You gonna sit with them for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got some new friends for a couple weeks? Oh my goodness. Come on, dude. Yeah.
Oh, he's pinching my finger.
See, and that's the other reason why I like this breed is they're very docile. At this age, they're calm. I mean, the Cornish crosses, even at this size, were very flighty. They're not sociable. They don't honestly get sociable until they're big and fat and they can't move anymore. But these guys, I mean, you can see that, I mean, they're just as tame and docile as can be.
They keep petting her.
Yeah, because they're getting new feathers in. They're just still babies. The last reason why I prefer the Buff Orpingtons over the Cornish cross chickens is because of this. These guys are avid bug hunters. If you have a problem with ticks, if you have a problem with fleas, ants, anything like that, these guys, even now, they're just a couple weeks old. They're already chasing down flies that are coming into their pen. And you can see that they're already kind of scratching about in the dirt. And they've been in here a couple days and they're already looking for seeds, little tidbits that they can eat. Now they've got chicken feed in there, but they're looking for extra stuff. And that's a sign of a good foraging bird. You want them to go out, you want them to look for stuff. So once these guys are let out, they're gonna go all over getting as much food as they can handle. That saves your bottom dollar. And then the last reason why I prefer these guys, you can actually breed them. You can save a rooster and a couple hens and you can breed them and then you can have more babies for next year. You can do that with the Cornish crosses as well, but you're not gonna have exact results. Cornish crosses are not sterile. You can breed them. Actually, the one that I had in my coop for the longest time, she was laying eggs on the bottom of my coop floor. She was a little too heavy to fly up to the top nesting box areas, so she just would lay hers in the corner. But people who have actually bred them have found that the sizes vary from really crazy large to tiny little chickens. So that's why they're not conventionally bred Cornish cross to Cornish cross, because you can't get the exact same result as, say, now you could have those two breeds in your coop and produce your own Cornish crosses. You could certainly do that. But they're still not going to free range very good. They're not going to forage very good. The Buff Orpingtons, they're very friendly. Come here. Hey guys. They're curious. They're just pleasant. And besides the fact that they've got very loose feathering, so when you're going to pluck them out, if you're doing it yourself, they're not going to be tight feathered like these guys. They're real loose and fluffy. Hey, come on. These guys are a boatload cuter than those ugly Cornish crosses. So that's why I personally am choosing Buff Orpingtons this year over the Cornish crosses. Now, when it's butchering season halfway through summer, I'll let you know how they taste. And I still have a whole freezer full of Cornish crosses, so I think it'd be interesting to do a comparison taste test of both of them grilled at the same time. Think that'd be a good video? We'll put it all out in front of the family and let the family decide which one they like better. Because that will speak for itself. Take care.